Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, I think this is the best way to do it. So we've had a lot of videos. I've done some, and there's a plethora of videos on YouTube on this guy here, which is the Fesley FST 1000 Strat style guitar. And there were videos, and most of them, full disclaimer, are subsidized videos from Fesley where the YouTubers are stating that these guitars are better than Fenders, and that game over. Fesley's got the best Strat style guitar on the market. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. So I'm not subsidized. I bought these guitars on my own dime. This is a Fender Player 2 Strat, and that's of course the Fesley FST 1000. And both are great guitars. Both are Stratocasters, right? This is a real Stratocaster. It's a Fender, proper Stratocaster. But this guy here comes pretty close. And it really, really, really depends upon what your aspirations and goals are. I'm not going to say that the Fesley is a better guitar than this guy. But is it good enough and close enough for what you need if you are like me? And that is a novice guitar player who plays at home for his own enjoyment. Look, if you've got disposable income and you just have to have the real thing, right? The Fender on the headstock, Fender, components, well, then just buy a Fender Strat. You don't even need to watch this video. But if you're very curious to see just how good a Fesley really is and want an honest opinion on that, then stick around and we'll go over it, okay? So hopefully you'll enjoy the video, guys. So, let's talk about both guitars. We'll pick this, we'll pick this one up. So this is a Fender Strat. This is a Fender Player Strat. This is their most economical Stratocaster. Well, actually it's not. They now have a Fender Standard Strat that's made in Indonesia. That is very similar to a Squire, except it's a Fender on the headstock. It's been getting really, really mixed reviews, both in forums and on YouTube. A lot of disappointment in the guitar, stating that it's not up to Fender quality, it's overpriced, it's a Squire in Fender clothes, whatever the case is. This is a proper Fender made in Mexico Stratocaster. It's not a USA-made Fender. But it's well made. These things, their list price is $800, I believe, $99. They go for $839 normally, $839.99. If you're lucky to get them on sale, sometimes you can get them on sale for $699, $749, etc. So the normal price is $839.99. Okay? Does not come with a gig bag or anything else. This guy here is the Fesley FST 1000. And this does come with a gig bag. It's sitting right over there behind me. You can see it, guys. There's the gig bag. Comes with some goodies, a sand block, a nice guitar cable, a strap, the whole bit. So it does come with some goodies. Okay, this guy, the list price was $329.99. It was that price for the longest time. But Amazon most recently, because this guitar has been out well over a year now, has them regularly for $199. I was lucky enough to get this on a pre-Black Friday sale for $189 less 10%. It came to like $162 plus tax, which I think is an absolute steal for this guitar. So let's now compare head-on. Quick math, right? Let's say it's $200. This guy's rounded off $850, right? For argument's sake. That's $350 difference between... no, what am I saying? Did I get that right? $500 difference. Let's see. 200 to 800 is how much? 600? Okay, so it's 600 and change. Math, old, they don't go together. So yeah, it's roughly, this guitar is roughly let's say $600 and change, more expensive than this guy normally. Okay, So that's, if this guy is roughly $200, let's say on Amazon normally, you can buy 3 of these for the price of this. And get gig bags. So, let's talk about the guitars. Just the specs before we get into letting you hear what they sound like. So this guy has a mahogany body. This guy has an alder body. They both have rolled fretboards. That's a real rosewood fretboard on the Fesley, believe it or not, at that price point, which is crazy. This guy has, as you can see, a maple fretboard, but you have the option to get either a rosewood or a maple fretboard on the players. Rolled fretboards on both. Pristine on both. You don't feel sharp fret edges at all on either one of these guitars. This even has a skunk stripe on it, the Fesley, to match the skunk stripe on this guy. They both have nickel silver frets. This guy here, I need a longer arm, has a roasted maple neck, the back of the neck on this guitar. And it also has a contoured heel, as you can see here, on the back of the guitar. This Player Series, which is 3 times the price of this guy, has a non-contoured heel, as you can see, and what they call a tinted neck to make it look more vintage. It's not roasted, but the wood is colored or tinted. A bone nut on the Fesley. A plastic nut on the Fender. 22 medium jumbo frets on both guitars. Modern C-neck on the Fesley with a 12-inch radius. This guy has a standard 9.5-inch Strat radius on the Fender Player, and it's a C-shaped neck. So 9.5-inch radius on the Fender, 12-inch radius on the Fesley. It's a little flatter, a little bit more, a little more friendly if you're a shredder, I guess. The other interesting thing on this Fesley, on the neck, depending upon how you can see here, the wood, but it's quarter sawn wood on this neck. Not so much on the Fender. So, what else? 2-point trem on the Fender, a 2-point trem with bent saddles on this Fender. It's a Fender bridge, right? This is where I'm amazed and very, very surprised. The Fesley has a Wilkinson bridge, right? It's an M series. It's a lower-end series bridge, but it's a Wilkinson nonetheless. Bent saddles and 2-point trem. And this bridge, I can't notice much in terms of a drop-off in quality between this Fesley bridge and that Fender Player Series bridge. Really remarkable. So it's a very, very good Wilkinson bridge on this guitar. The pickups. These are Wilkinson M-Series pickups. They're ceramic pickups. But you get an HSS on this guitar. So you can split this with this push-pull on the tone knob. You can split the humbucker. And then, you've got then more of the traditional 3 singles. But it's really not a single. It's just the humbucker with lower volume, in my opinion. A volume drop-off. So you've got an HSS as opposed to your conventional and your proper 3 single coils on the Player Series. Both of these have the wood fill-in on the truss rod cavity, which is interesting. The Fender and this, which adds a little bit more ritziness to the guitar. These are normal tuners, right? These are Grover G2 tuners, which are low-end import Chinese-made Grover tuners. They're okay. They're not as good as regular standard Grover tuners, but they're not bad. They hold tune fairly well, okay? The tuners on the Fender are better. I'll be honest, they're better. These are vintage Fender tuners with split shafts on them. So they'll be, can you see the split shafts on them? It's easier for you to string the guitar and restring it. These are extremely good tuners on this guitar. They're very tight, no slippage. There's a noticeable difference in the quality of the tuners on this guitar than the Fesley. There's a noticeable difference on the quality of the controls on the Fender, the knobs, and, just how solid they feel compared to the Fesley. That's a weak point on the Fesley. And it's got to be some weak point at that price, right? The knobs are a little sticky. The switch, the 5-way switch, does not feel anywhere near as smooth as the 5-way switch on my Fender. So there are little areas where they cut corners. They have to. Minor things, though. Let's see what else, anything I'm missing. I went over the fact that Fender has Alnico 5 pickups. The Fesley has ceramic pickups, Wilkinson ceramic pickups. Mahogany body, right, on the Fesley. Interesting. Older body on the Fender. Now, the weight. Because the mahogany feels heavier, and it is heavier. It's 7.9 pounds. That's what this guitar weighs. The Fesley, FST 1000. 7.9 pounds. A little bit shy of 8 pounds. This guy here, it's an older body, weighs 7.31. Actually, 7.3 pounds. And it's, 6 ounces or whatever lighter. But you feel it. Believe me, you can feel that this guitar is lighter than the Fesley. What else? What else? Did I cover everything that I wanted to cover? I believe I did. Now comes the point where we can hear what the guitars sound like. Okay, so I have the Fender plugged in. Excuse me, the Fesley. I get confused myself here. The Fesley plugged in. So we'll start with this. I'm playing through my Gamma amp, which is a 25 watt with one 10-inch speaker. It's a digital amp. And I have it on a clean setting, so it'll be set up identically for both guitars. Okay, so we'll play clean on here, then we'll play clean on the Fender. This is the neck pickup. And now the neck and the middle pickup. Just the middle pickup. Middle and the humbucker. Now you can hear the volume increase because now we have the humbucker engaged. Now let's split the humbucker and you can hear the difference. Okay, so it is split now. Humbucker. Split. And now this is the middle and the humbucker not split. And now split. Not that much of a difference. But when the humbucker is by itself, you can clearly hear it. Now, full disclaimer. This humbucker job that they did, the pot, which is the tone knob, with the split, it's a push-pull rather than having a little toggle switch on the tone knob, is a big mistake by Fesley. It is extremely hard to pull out this knob and push it in. Now, I'm not a little guy. I'm finding it difficult. If you have someone that is a child, a student, a young lady, it's going to be very, very hard to pull this thing out. So that's a bit of a flaw with the guitar. But other than that, there's really not a lot of bad things to say about this guitar. So let's see what the Fender sounds like now, clean. Okay, nothing to split because it doesn't have splits on it, just 3 single coils. So we'll start with the neck pickup on this guy. Now the neck in the middle pickup. And the middle pickup alone. Middle and the bridge pickup. And finally, just the bridge pickup by itself. So, clean. You can clearly hear that these pickups, the ceramic pickups in the Fesley, are higher output pickups. There's more volume. There's no question. Whether you can hear it or not in the video, it's certainly apparent when you're playing live. The pickups are louder on the Fesley. These sound more glassy, is the better way for me to put it. They sound more Strat-like. Again, there's no way to cover that up or lie about it. Like, you know, it's just not there. These sound more glassy. They have, on that 4 position, you get more of a nasally tone. Your typical Strat tones come out clearly on this guitar where they're not as defined on the Fesley. And that's probably because of the Wilkinson ceramic pickups. But it's not a bad sound. It's just a little different than a classic Strat sound. Let's go set this up. Lower the volume so I don't blow the roof off, and we'll hear this with distortion. Okay, neck pickup on the Fesley with distortion. Middle. Middle and bridge. Humbucker. And I'll play some single notes. Okay, now we'll pick up the Fender. Here we go. Plug her in. Here is the neck pickup. This and this. Middle. Middle and bridge. Just the bridge. And some single notes. Okay. So guys, hopefully, I know not ideal conditions here, playing-wise, but hopefully you could hear the difference between both guitars. Here's my assessment. If you're looking for name on a headstock, there's no argument, there's no discussion, just buy the Fender. If you're playing with snobs and cork sniffers and you play out and it's really important, your image, and you need to have that Fender, there's nothing I'm going to say or do or anybody else on YouTube to say that you should just go out and buy the Fesley. If you're looking for and you want a pure classic Strat tone and sound, buy the player, right? You're going to get that. The Fesley has ceramic pickups. It has an HSS configuration. It does not sound as pure and as classic as the Strat does. Does that make it a worse guitar or a lesser guitar? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, for cleans, you know, here's the deal. For cleans, I prefer this guy. I prefer the Fender. If I'm just playing clean, you know, and not putting any dirt on at all, I like the glassy nasal tones. I prefer, that's a personal taste, I prefer the player. For distortion, rock, gain, even some heavy blues rock type stuff, if that's what you're into, the humbucker on this guitar and the higher output Wilkinson pickups play really well into that space and world. I think that the Fesley sounds better for high gain tones and that type of genre, you know, if that's what you're playing. So buy both. Yeah, right? Buy more guitars. That's the answer. Just, yeah, another guitar. But in any event, yeah, I mean, I think if you're a cork sniffer and want Fender, just buy Fender, right? If you're looking for classic Fender Strat tones, buy the player. If you don't care, you're a home player, quite frankly, and you just want to play a guitar and enjoy playing it, you know what? In my hands, this guitar, in all honesty, feels better than that Fender. I'm not saying it's a better guitar. I'm saying in my hands, what feels better to me. I love the neck on this guitar. And it's, again, necks are completely personal. Completely personal thing. You may hate it, but both necks are very similar in terms of the density, you know, the contour of the neck, except that this has a slightly flatter radius. This is a 12-inch radius versus a 9.5. To my hand, this feels better, right? To others, you may like the Fender Player. But, man, for $162, is that guitar 3 times better from a price standpoint than this? I don't think so. I mean, it's probably more than that, right? I said it's $800 versus it's 4 times the price of this. Is it 4 times better? No, definitely not, in my opinion. This guitar is more than adequate for you if you are like myself, you know, a novice home hobbyist, play for your own enjoyment. You can get nice tones out of it. I think the coil split on this is absolutely useless because it's very hard to pull up and pull down. Maybe in a later release, Fesley will put one of the switches on this guitar like some of the other companies are coming out with now. Make a hell of a lot more sense because it's especially if you're playing, you're not going to be able to pull this up and push it down. It's going to be impossible. You have to basically be stationary and use all your strength to get this thing up and down. I don't know if I just have a bad guitar, quite frankly, and that the others are easier. I don't know if you have one and it's very easy to pull and push down the pot. Put it in the comments. I would love to know. But this one is brutal. So, but other than that, I mean, I have very, very little negative things to say about this Fesley. It's more than appropriate, more than enough for what you would need it for. And also the finishing on this guitar and the quality at that price point is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, think about it. You got a mahogany body, a Wilkinson bridge, Grover G2 tuners, a bone nut, rounded or rolled fretboard on this guitar, no sharp fret ends, a rosewood neck fingerboard, a roasted maple neck. I mean, it's just absolutely stupid. A full-size block, tremolo block in the guitar, a contoured heel joint for $162 plus tax is what I paid. Nuts. They currently have this, I believe, for $189 or something like that on Amazon. That's a steal. That's a steal. But again, it really depends upon your needs. If you want Fender on the headstock, you're chasing tone and you want classic Fender Strat tone, you want vintage tone, maybe you're looking for that guitar. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, if I had to do it all over again, from a completely honest perspective, and I had a limited amount of money to deal with, I wouldn't even think about buying the Fender Player. I would buy the Fesley for my needs. Again, full disclosure, is it a better guitar? No, it's not a better guitar. They're different, but it's more than good enough for a home hobbyist and a novice like myself. But then again, probably a cardboard box with string on it would be... No, I shouldn't go down that road. In any event, guys, listen, thank you for your time. If you like these videos, please subscribe. Please share. And until the next one, be well. See you soon. Take care.